Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of Lucha Underground Season 4, Episode 3, called Rest in Pieces. And I just got done finished watching the episode, and I have to say, it was another good episode of Lucha Underground. I mean, this season so far has been good for, the 3 episodes. And we only had 2 matches for this episode. We had one debuting Luchador debuting tonight, which I'm going to get to. So the episode opened up, of course, from highlights of last week's episode. So we got that. Then we had Ricky Mundo and Jack Evans, of course, of Worldwide Underground. And Jack Evans, he's parted ways with Lucha Underground, and because they film these Lucha Underground episodes because they're pre-taped, which means they taped them months ago. So we had Mundo and Jack Evans. Talk about, Ricky Mundo tells Jack Evans about finding the island of the dolls where he found, his creepy doll friend whose name is Rosa, and he ends up pulling the string of the doll, and the doll had like a creepy high-pitched voice which just said, Hola on it. It was like, Hola. It was like something like that. And Johnny Mundo and Taya arrive, and Mundo, thanks them for coming to this meeting. He ends up talking to them about, feuding with the Reptile Tribe, saying that the Reptile Tribe, wants a war, they're going to get it. And so Mundo tells, Jack Evans, to call on one of them, out tonight. But, he's afraid to do so. And so Mundo ends up telling them, to look out for Angelico because he owes him, a beating. And the doll tells, Ricky, his secret is safe with her, which, is really creepy. Kind of like, has sort of like a Annabelle vibe, with the doll. So, but it was a pretty good opening to the episode. Then we had the first match tonight, of the night. It was Jack Evans versus the new luchador, XO Lushus. And XO Lushus is, of course, indie star Sunny Kiss. For any of you who live, out here on the East Coast and go to indie shows, which I've been to, a few. I've seen Sunny Kiss wrestle, and he's very talented in the ring. Talented guy. The crowd, the people all like and enjoy what he does in the ring. The guy is talented. If you've seen him at indie shows out here. But the match itself for this, Jack Evans issued a put up or shut up challenge, and so XOlicious end up answering Jake Evans's challenge, and the both of them work into a fast pace. It was back and forth between them. XO, hit a head scissors to Jack Evans, a runner, back handspring slap, and he had XO end up hitting a jawbreaker and a leg drop to Jake Evans. Tried to counter it. Jake Evans kicked out at 2. The end of the match had XOlicious hitting the X Factor on Jack Evans to score the win. So XOlicious, of course, wins the match. It was a pretty good match. It was a good match. XO Lushus, or aka Sunny Kiss. He looked good in the match. Very talented, very talented guy. Like I said, when I saw him in the indie shows, the crowd, enjoyed him, and I think he's gonna thrive in the Lucha Underground environment, which I really hope to see. So, but all in all, it was a good match. XO Lushus, really enjoyed him in this match. So it was a good match, a good first match tonight of the night. Excuse me. And so when Lucha Underground came back from the commercial, we saw Pentagon Dark in the ring. He was out on the mic. He says that he was talking in Spanish, and there were subtitles of what he was saying. He says at Aztec Warfare 19, luchadores tried to take the Lucha Underground Championship from him, and they all failed. He goes on to say even Matanza failed. And he ends up saying anyone who wants the Lucha Underground title will fail too. And no matter who tries to take the title from him, they will be broken. And so out comes Cage. He ends up attacking Pentagon Dark. Cage then picks up the Lucha Underground Championship. He ends up hitting Pentagon with it. Goes to the floor outside. Cage ends up retrieving the table from under the ring. Sets it up on the floor. He ends up taking Pentagon to the apron of the ring, and then power bombs Pentagon through the table. So Cage ends up getting on the mic and says to Pentagon that he can't break him, that Pentagon can't break Cage, and Cage says he's going to be the next Lucha Underground champion. And this is, I liked how the way they did this. This is going to be a good angle between Pentagon Dark and Cage. Going, I like to see them. They're going to probably do it, Pentagon Dark versus Cage for the Lucha Underground Championship. That match is going to be really awesome and really good. I could picture it. Those two going at it. It's going to be one hell of a match. And then we had Melissa Santos. She was concerned for Fenix ahead of the three-way to the grave match tonight. So it was just that little scene with them. I like this whole thing with Melissa and Fenix. Even though Melissa Santos is dating Cage. So, but yeah, so that was just that little scene with Melissa and Fenix. Then it was the main event, which was the three-way to the grave match. Jeremiah Crane versus Fenix versus Mil Muertes. Of course, Katrina came out with Mil Muertes. And this match, it was really good. It was a good main event. All three of them start brawling when the bell rings. Fenix ends up laying kicks, and he hits a DDT on Mil Muertes. Jeremiah Crane, starts working over Mil Muertes. Fenix ended up firing back. Sorry about that, but I was saying also Mil Muertes followed with the dive and attacked Jeremiah Crane. He ended up attacking Jeremiah Crane with the flowers at ringside. There was like flowers there, and of course the caskets. So that happened, which was cool. Sorry about that again, but we had also Jeremiah Crane. He fired back. He threw Muertes destroyed him with a spear, which was cool. Later on in the match, XOlicious ended up coming out, and she had a hammer with her because Jeremiah Crane was, opening the coffin to roll Fenix into it. But that's when XOlicious ended up coming out, and of course, like I said, she came out with a hammer. She ended up attacking Crane with the hammer. The only reason why she did that was because of the Ultimate Lucha Thresh Revenge. She ended up hitting more hammer shots to Jeremiah Crane. She ended up hitting Jeremiah Crane with the hammer in the knee, which was crazy. What was really funny was Jeremiah Crane actually gave XOlicious the bird, the finger, the middle finger, and then more hammer shots. A hammer shot, sended Jeremiah Crane into the coffin, and she ended up closing the coffin. So, Jeremiah Crane was eliminated. As we saw like these folks, these dead folks arrive to take him away, in the coffin. Then when Lucha Underground came back from commercial, it was just Muertes and Fenix there. Both of them, gave it all they got in this match. We saw Fenix laying in, kicks to Muertes, into the coffin. Muertes ended up fighting out before, the coffin ended up closing. End up hitting a belly to belly on Fenix into the coffin, Muertes, which was cool. But Fenix kept on, firing back. Muertes ended up choke slamming him. Then we saw Muertes, caught Fenix off the ropes. He choke slammed Fenix into the coffin, and Fenix kept on, fighting back. He ended up hitting a missile drop kick. Muertes closed, opened the coffin and placed Fenix in it. And forgot to mention before all that, Muertes ended up, breaking the rope, and was exposed. Sorry about that again, but the reason why the pad was exposed was because Muertes ended up cutting off Fenix, and Muertes started ripping away at Fenix's mask, and that's when he undid the pad, and Fenix, he slammed Fenix into the exposed turnbuckle, and it busted him open. And pretty much that's how the match took from there. But Muertes ended up placing Fenix in the casket, closed it for the win. So Muertes wins the three-way to the grave match. Ended up defeating Jeremiah Crane, and ended up defeating Jeremiah Crane and Fenix. So, but overall, it was a good main event. Really enjoyed it. The believers, the crowd seemed to, really like it. It was a good match. It was a fun match. And, now, Katrina will get her life force back, and, won't be trapped in between, worlds. So, but overall, it was a good main event. Really enjoyed it. It was a fun main event. And then the episode ends with Antonio Cueto. He has Matanza chained up in a new prison. Antonio ends up saying that he failed Matanza, and there was a key that he was holding, and it holds the soul of Matanza, and it was a gift from the gods given to Antonio, and he says it made him weak. And so Antonio says, that Matanza should be so much more, and he tosses the key to Matanza and tells him to destroy the key to become a god. And so Matanza ends up destroying it. His chains fall off, and Antonio then says goodbye to his son, and then the episode ends. So it was a pretty good ending to the episode. So, but yeah, overall, it was a good episode. Like I said, only 2 matches. Both were good. So yeah. So anyways, that's it for my review of Lucha Underground Season 4, Episode 3, called Rest in Pieces. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you all later.